Hey, what's up? I'm Bill. I'm the production manager at Upstate Merch. And I just wanted to go over a few things that I really love about the LTS unit that we got from Chromaline. So first and foremost, above all else, most importantly, the detail that we're able to achieve with our LTS is incredible. The halftones you would never be able to get with an image, films, anything like that we've ever tried before. The LTS is unmatched, incredible detail. So the second thing is how it locks the screens in. It's super tight, it's super consistent, and what that means is we don't have to deal with the nightmare of micro adjusting out in the shop. We just toss the tri-lock on, toss the screens up, and we can just print. Productivity has gone way up because of it. Number three is gonna be that there's no waste and that there's very little maintenance. If you're doing films, you're wasting all that plastic. With things like the image, there's heads you gotta keep clean, there's inks, there's tubes you gotta keep clean. And with the LTS, I don't even think about it. Very, very little maintenance. And not having any waste is something that's important to me, and it's important to our shop, and it should be important to you too. So we got amazing detail, tight registration, no waste, low maintenance. We're getting way more done with way less people. Productivity is through the roof. We got tiny halftones, laser party, Chromaline. The LTS is fucking rad.
So my biggest thing with Upstate was I own this building, we're limited on space. We have space, but we're still limited on space. And I wanted to make the footprint in the darkroom as much as possible, get as many screens in there as we could efficiently, and switching to the LTS where it was more stand up against the wall instead of 4 to 6 feet out in the room, and having two machines where you had an inkjet and you had an exposure unit. It just took up half the darkroom.
Yeah.
So now that having the LTS, we have way less consumables, better quality screens, and it takes up less room in the darkroom, so that was huge. The biggest problem we were looking to solve was we were having a lot of issues with print heads. We were having issues again with the heat and humidity. We were just having a lot of issues with dot gain, which was a huge issue that we don't have at all anymore. When we decided to go from that to LTS, talking to Kevin was huge because we saw some samples, we saw stuff at shows. We did a lot of testing and playing around and looking to see what we wanted to do. And then when we switched from, for an example, from film to inkjet, we had a job that we had printed that had a ton of detail and halftones in it. It was like face. And then when we went to inkjet, we did the exact same job and we got like way more halftones to show up than we did in the other one because of like light undercutting and whatever. But then when we went to laser, we did the same job and it was even like way more detail came out in that one, and things were way more smooth. And it was just one of those things, again, you don't know what you don't know till you get there. And it was just one of those things where we didn't think we could get better in quality on it the second time, but then when we got the LTS, it was night and day difference. Installation, I would just say, the funny thing is we've had a lot of equipment delivered over the years, and the laser delivered was probably the best uncrating experience I've ever had. As lame as that is to talk about the crating, it was literally a wood box covering it where it came with the tool to take it apart. So we didn't have to sit there with sawzalls, we didn't have to sit, a lot of presses and stuff come with all 2x4s, a million screws, different screws and nails, whatever. This was a wooden box that came with the tool to take it apart. We unscrewed the sides, it came apart. It was wrapped, ready to go. And it comes on wheels. So we literally took it off the pallet, wheeled it into the darkroom, and plugged it in.
Yeah, easy.
It was the best thing ever. And that's not a hype thing. Like, I'm not doing that for camera. Like, literally, we were like, holy shit, this is the best. This is the best crate we've ever gotten. You buy equipment and there's all this snake oil out there and they say can do this can do this. We literally installed this machine that day. We were seeing screens that looked better than any screen we've ever made. And then we plug and play. We put screens in and hit print and it did what it was supposed to do. And we've had great screens ever since. Again, we had to tweak emulsions and all this other stuff, and that's normal. But day-to-day use now, we don't really have too many hiccups or anything. And this is a whole nother conversation, but we've talked about how I've had power issues here because the shop is kind of out there. And I have peace of mind knowing I can shut this machine off every day when I leave, and I'm not going to have electrical issues. And a lot of these other CTS machines you have to leave on because they have to stay warm. This I can just shut off, peace of mind knowing going home it's not going to be damaged in any way.
So you think it was worth the investment?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I won't talk about things unless we actually like them or approve of them, and I feel like it's going to help other printers. I don't want to share information that is going to get them into a pinch where it's not something they like. I fully endorse the laser because, again, my shop, we're big into making sure we have the best quality prints that we can get with what we have, and going to the laser gave us more darkroom space, better quality screens, faster screens, and just the dot detail is crazy. Like, if you look at these screens under a loop, like, you go from a splotchy dot from inkjet to a perfect circle. It is crazy. Just overall, I think, I don't have the numbers, but I know that it's paid for itself for sure. And I think in general, for anybody watching or listening or whatever, that going from, film or maybe your first CTS to going to something like LTS, it's definitely one of those things that you look at and you're like, I should have done this sooner.